Would you please stand and put your hands together and let's give General Bostick the Tuskegee warm welcome. General Bostick.
Well, thank you for that kind introduction. Dr. and Mrs. Jenkins, General and Mrs. Williams, local officials, faculty members, honored guests, proud parents, family, friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2014. I am deeply honored to be here at Tuskegee, one of the greatest institutions in the world. I did not write my remarks at 4 o'clock this morning, but I hope you'll appreciate them as much as you did Kyle Spencer's remarks. I have been invited to many things in my life, but I cannot imagine anything more special than the honor of being here with you today. I feel a connection to Tuskegee because it was the example of Tuskegee graduates like General Chappie James, and the pioneers like the Tuskegee Airmen, and many others who provided the opportunity for soldiers like me. I am here only because of their service and sacrifice. Additionally, I feel a strong bond with Tuskegee because my brother, Anthony Bostick, an Army colonel, and my cousin, Linda Bostick, both earned their degrees in veterinary medicine here at Tuskegee. At my headquarters, we have two soldiers who are Tuskegee graduates, Major Kelsey Shaw and Specialist Kyra Davenport, and other graduates working as Department of the Army civilians in our districts. We are very, very fortunate that they are on our team. After spending a day here at Tuskegee, I'm convinced that there could be no other place quite like Tuskegee anywhere. This is a unique and remarkable institution, and the graduates are truly a family. And to the family of Bobby Smith, it says a lot about you, your family, and this wonderful institution that you're here today. God bless you. When I speak to those graduates from years ago from universities across America and ask them about their graduation speaker, many cannot remember. You too may not recall my name years from now, or perhaps hours in some cases. However, I hope you will remember that a soldier had the honor of addressing the great Tuskegee class of 2014. For a soldier to be invited to deliver the commencement address at Tuskegee University, it is an honor that speaks to the high esteem in which Tuskegee holds those who serve in uniform. Today, less than 1% of our citizens serve in the armed forces, but we as a nation stand in great respect of those who serve. And the nation's high regard indicates how times have changed since I began my military career. Many Americans have never met anyone in the military. I would ask you as graduates to reach out to them. Our military must stay engaged with the population it serves. I was at an event in a small town that does not see many military at all. A young man walked up to me and asked, "Are you really a general?" And when I said yes, he said, "Wow, I've never seen a live general." I wondered if he has seen the dead ones. Later, I was in an elevator in another small town, and a lady said, "You're looking mighty fine in that uniform." I backed up to the corner of the elevator. I was in my dress uniform with 2 stars on both of my sleeves. And then she said, "Have you made sergeant yet?" I said, "No, I have not made sergeant yet. I'm actually a general, but you should know that our sergeants, our non-commissioned officers, make our military the very best in the world." I am a soldier. I stand before you today to share my thoughts and beliefs regarding the importance of education in the military. I ask you to reflect on your role in ensuring that our military and education continue to sustain our democracy. Life is a journey marked by defining moments. In my life, one such defining moment came in the form of words spoken by Frances Hesselbein, the recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. She often speaks about the two institutions that have sustained our democracy from the very beginning, our military and education. Those words resonated with me then as they do now, crystallizing in my mind the significant influence that these two institutions have in sustaining our democracy and the freedom we all enjoy. My own college education highlights a personal life lesson. I almost did not make it into West Point. My mother was born and raised in Japan and spoke very little English when she met my father, an African-American soldier who grew up in Brooklyn. He was orphaned at 8 years old after both of his parents passed away at an early age. Dad moved from foster home to foster home until he could join the Army. He was a great runner for the Army. He always joked that he met my mom, stopped running, and they had 6 children together. We had our own traveling basketball team. With such a large family, I did not want to burden my parents in supporting me with college. So I pursued a scholarship to West Point. We had just moved from Japan to California during my junior year of high school when I requested a nomination to West Point from my congressman. I remember when the letter from my congressman arrived. I took the letter to the porch. I sat down, nervously opened it, read the news that I was not one of his nominations, and then started to cry. But I picked myself up, and I was committed to attending junior college. I always enjoyed building things and thought of becoming a carpenter instead of an engineer. Later that year, a retired Brigadier General, George Wall, came to my high school looking for me. He was born in 1895 and graduated from the West Point class of 1917. He said that he heard I wanted to attend West Point. I said yes, but without a congressional nomination, I'm going another route. He told me to apply for a presidential nomination. I asked, why would the president consider me if I could not obtain a congressional nomination? He told me that the president had 100 nominations for children of the military. So I applied, and nearly 40 years after I entered West Point in 1974, I'm proud and honored to be a soldier, the Army Chief of Engineers, and with you here today. You know, General Wall, a man whom I did not know and who did not know me, took the time to give me some advice that changed my life forever. He has been an enduring influence in my life as I tried to assist youngsters who may need my help. To the graduates, I would encourage you to never give up on your dreams and to give back to the youth of America. If you can make a difference in the education of one person's life, you will have done a great service, not only for that person, but for our society. When I was a cadet at West Point, we appeared as members of the cast in the movie MacArthur. I recall going to the premiere. There was a small group of protesters, and a few of them threw eggs at us. I called my dad, Army Master Sergeant Sidney Bostick, and I asked him why that happened. He asked if I was in uniform, and I said yes. My dad, a two-time Vietnam War veteran, told me that some people in America were against the war and that I should not wear my uniform in public. That was pretty hard to take for a young teenager. Over 30 years later, I was departing a plane in uniform, and an elderly lady waiting to board the next flight stopped me and asked if she could give me a hug. With tears in her eyes, she gave me a hug and said, "Thank you for your service." And I thought, amazing how far we've come. I do want to recognize our Vietnam veterans who are here today. It's never too late to say your thank you to another person, a personal life story. Would the Vietnam veterans, any that are here, please be recognized. Another personal life lesson. It's never too late to say thank you. I'm confident the military will do its part in sustaining our democracy. The military is regarded by many as a pathway to advancement, a profession where individual merit is recognized and rewarded. Our nation's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen represent a diverse group of races and ethnicities who volunteer to serve, and if necessary, to lay down their life for our country. The military provided minorities an opportunity to be measured by their competence, commitment, and character, rather than the color of their skin. It has not always been that way. The Tuskegee Airmen, one intrepid group of men, helped open the door and expand opportunities for minorities in the military. We are grateful for their legacy and so many others who have bravely served our nation. Buffalo Soldiers, Navajo Code Talkers, the Japanese-American soldiers, the 442nd Regimental Combat Team in World War II. Today, our United States Armed Forces is a reflection of our society. As we're gathered here together, there are many in our military serving in distant lands, on point for the nation, so that we have the freedom and the opportunity to celebrate this day together. For all of our service members and their families in the Department of Defense civilians, we are thankful for their service, each and every one of them. Yesterday, I commissioned our future military leaders from the ROTC programs at Tuskegee and Auburn, our newest Army, Air Force, and Naval officers. Please join me in recognizing our ROTC graduates. Please stand, our ROTC graduates. Thank you for your commitment to serve your nation. While few in America will serve in our military, every one of us can support our troops. As you graduate, think about your role in ensuring that our military sustains our democracy. Now consider the institution of education. In David McCullough's book, The Greater Journey, he wrote about how American artists, writers, doctors, politicians, architects, and others of high aspiration set off for Paris in the years between 1830 and 1900 to learn how to excel in their work. Charles Sumner, a scholar, a lawyer, and politician, traveled to Paris in 1837 and attended lectures at the Sorbonne, the historic University of Paris. Sumner wrote that he noticed 2 or 3 blacks in the audience, and they were well received by the other students. Sumner noted that it must be that the distance between free blacks and the whites among us is derived from education. And even today, education is your passport to the future. It provides the opportunity and the access to a world of possibility and promise. Booker T. Washington clearly understood not only the value of an education, but also the significance of providing opportunity and access to an education for young black students that was often unavailable or denied to them. Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, and those who followed in their footsteps became mentors, role models, and nation builders. Nation builders committed to providing an education for any and all young people willing and able to meet the challenge. They methodically, tirelessly, and passionately worked at leveling the playing field so that an education at Tuskegee became a student's passport to the future. Today is also about the legacy of those who taught you along the way. Their rewards come when they see you succeed. Your parents are very happy for you and for themselves as well, since the automatic transfer of money from their account to yours will soon come to an end. Many thanks to our parents, our educators, family and friends, and all of those involved into the education of our graduates. And for all the mothers in the audience, happy Mother's Day. To the graduates, your commitment to support education in America, whether as an educator, a parent, a volunteer, or in another capacity, will be your contribution to help sustain our democracy through education. Today, you celebrate an achievement that no one can ever take away, a highly valued and hard-earned education based on merit. To the graduates of Tuskegee University, be mindful of George Washington Carver's words, "Your life is your message to the world. Make sure it's inspiring." Now it's your time. It's your turn. Tuskegee will be your North Star for a greater journey that awaits you. Thank you for the invitation and the honor to bring the military and education together on such a special day. I salute you. Congratulations. God bless you. Thank you.